a year ago today, we were celebrating Liverpool winning the 19th title. It still feels good. It still feels a big moment. It still feels like something that can't ever be taken away from us. But we want to do it properly. And what I mean by that is we want to do it with us in the ground and us at a parade and all the rest of it. Are you happy, John, that where we're going, where we're headed, where it looks like what we're doing with transfers, etc., we are in with a shout next season as things stand?
I think it's really hard to say, and like I think a lot of people have said like they still enjoyed winning the league last year, and of course I did enjoy winning the league last year, but it wasn't the same for me. And like that release, I never really got that release that you would associate. The thing that built up in my mind over all that period of time is it was going to be the best night out ever.
Yeah.
And it was all right, but it just wasn't because of all the reasons why it wasn't. And I feel a bit robbed to some degree, and like, and I think I need that. I need that release. I need that communal celebration with all the people I go to the match with, and I want a communal celebration with the players, with the manager. So I feel I need that to complete football, basically, and then I'll just walk off into the sea, basically, once that's happened. And I think, whilst all that's true, the landscape's changed, hasn't it? I think the problem you've got is City are going to keep doing City things. City are going to spend 100 million on a striker and probably
Harry Kane, maybe Jack Grealish, all of this.
So if they're playing sort of footy manager with a cheat code, it's really, really hard to look at what we're doing and continuing to be sensible and do the sensible thing and go, oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I don't think it's definitely going to happen. Do I think we've got a manager who's capable of getting more out of his team than almost any other manager in the league? Yes. Do I think if we get all of our team back fit, bar Gini Wijnaldum, it's still the team that won everything 18 months ago. So it's all possible. But like, I'm not sat here going, I'm going to put my mortgage on Liverpool winning the league next season. I hope we're competitive. I hope we're more competitive than we were this season. We had loads of bad luck this season, notwithstanding. Everyone's bored of hearing that. But I'm not sat here going, well, we've signed the centre half, that's the answer. I think we'd all want, and again, don't get me wrong, I've been on the Anfield Wrap for long enough where I'm always the guy saying we need 1 more, 2 more, 3 more belters, and the number of those and the quality of those always needs to be world class, and we've proven that that's like not necessarily the case. But I do worry that like of all the defensive injuries we've had, none of them are really playing football at the moment, and the pre-season's in a couple of weeks' time. So like that worries me. What are we going to get first week back in the defensive line? I then worry that I think we've got plenty of numbers in midfield, and I think provided our midfielders play in midfield and they're not covering in defence, I think we'll be reasonably well covered in midfield. That's not to say I wouldn't want another 1 or 2. I have got a bit of a worry that the forward line, we've been really lucky with injuries to the forward line forever basically, and I just worry that if we have a bit of less good luck up front, and if AFCON goes ahead, I still don't know what's happening with AFCON, that we might be left a bit short up front. So the short answer is I think there's loads we could do, but I'm realistic that we probably won't do all the things that would make me absolutely sat here dead excited. But it's where we are. I think if you take City out of it, I don't fear anybody else in the league. Do you know what I mean? You can say that Chelsea showed at moments last season they were capable of putting big runs together and putting big wins on the table, and individual games they played really, really well. But I'm not worried by them. I'm not worried by United. I'm still not having him. I'm still not having him at all. No. And I think that they will be found out soon, I think. So it could happen, but we're kind of hoping that something goes badly wrong for City in the way it went badly wrong for us last season, I think. And that's an awful thing to admit. And look, I could be proven wrong. It's only a couple of weeks into the transfer window. Not much is happening because the Euros is happening. We could make 5 or 6 signings before the new season starts. But yeah, I don't know. Is that what you're expecting me to say?
No, that's sound. I just want to see where he's at. I mean, what about you, Sean? You know, what do you think about where we were in terms of how much did you enjoy the league in terms of, well, you didn't have to wait friggin' 30 years like we did.
Well, I've never seen it, yeah. I'm 29, so I've never seen it. And, I've been lucky enough to go to Istanbul, see us win the Champions League and stuff. But that, to me, is just a moment I've always dreamt about for my life. And, you picture what it's going to be like and where you're going to be. And as you say, the nights out. And for me, the night we won, it was mad. Like, I didn't even think about that game. I just wasn't really in the zone of thinking this is when we're going to win it. So I was just sat in ours, I had a beer. And then I got to like the last 5 minutes and my heart was going, and it was almost like I didn't want the game to end, because I was just like, I just don't want it to happen this way. I thought at least at Anfield. And then I'm FaceTiming my mum, and it was all emotional, but I'm the same. I just feel like I've not had it, and I think I just want more than anything to have it in normal circumstances and to just be in the ground and just celebrate and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it, because I still think there's many chances to do that under Jurgen Klopp. But I think my concerns going into the season is I'm the same as you. I think United overperformed last season. I think anyway. I just can't picture them winning many trophies under Solskjaer. But I think there are teams on the ascendancy, like Man United. Like, you can't ignore they're getting higher in the table, like year on year. Chelsea, I do think probably are going to get better, and it's football goes in cycles, doesn't it? And we rode that crest, didn't we? And it's just whether the cycle, if it can continue, I don't know. And I think, we're talking about it as if we've got players coming back, which is good, but we're talking as if we're not going to have injuries again. But we've just had such a condensed season, and the Euros, look at Trent, and then I think they're going straight into another tournament next year, so it's going to be back to back to back. So I don't know if just knowing the way Klopp does, operates a squad, he likes a small squad. I don't know if he's going to go out and sign 1 million players. I think it completely depends on these fringe players going out, I think. And I wouldn't be totally shocked if we started the season it was just Konate that came in. I think it just depends who goes in and out. So I'm confident that I wouldn't want anyone else rather than Jurgen Klopp managing us. And I think he always, every season it's a new challenge, isn't it? Like when he came in, it was a squad in transition. Then he was starting to build these superstars up. Then we had setbacks from the finals, and then he overcome them each time. So I'm quite interested to see how he then comes back from what we've had last season. So I'm excited, I'm confident, but I think it's not just going to be a 2-horse race, which it had been for, I'd say, the past 2 or 3 seasons.